We're going to look at the chart, Vedic transformational Vedic astrology chart for Karrie Underwood, born March 10th, 1983, at 1510 in Checotah, Oklahoma. She has if you were to look to the eastern horizon when she was born, the constellation associated with Cancer was rising at 16 degrees. That becomes the most effective point of every house. Any planet within 5 degrees of that has some impact. Cancer is a movable water sign that makes her very sensitive, able to express her emotions. She's goes places and does things. She is a successful, very successful country western singer. Her sun is at 26 degrees, ruling the house of fame, and placed in the house of vulnerability. So she's able to express her vulnerable emotions, and that gives her fame. And Moon is at 13 degrees. Moon is ruling the first house of life purpose, longevity, the self, and it is placed in the house of partnerships. So it gives her, it's a very strong planet for her, strong and well placed, and it gives good partnerships, and gives her, Moon is public, so it gives her ability to perform publicly. Mars is at 17 degrees. Mars is ruling the house of career. So it gives her courage in her career to be a performer. And that's very strong and well placed as well. Both Moon and Mars are within 5 degrees of the most effective point, which is 16. So that makes them very, very powerful planets. So she has a lot of courage, a lot of ability to work in the public. Mercury is at 12 degrees. Mercury rules the house of self-expression and success. And she has good success through her communication, her skills, her ability to express herself. But it is debilitated. So she early on had attention deficiency disorder. Jupiter is at 16 degrees. Now, Jupiter becomes a functional malefic because it rules the sixth house. Scorpio rules the sixth house, so Jupiter automatically becomes a functional malefic in her chart. And so Jupiter represents husband and children, so it delayed marriage and limits the number of children. And also later in life, she may have issues with hips and gallbladder and liver. Venus is at 26 degrees. It is ruling the house of happiness through family. But it gives her, Venus is also performing arts, so gives happiness through performing arts. Saturn is ruling the eighth house of vulnerability, accidents, delays, obstructions. And it is placed in the fourth house of family. So yeah, so some delays for family there, obstructions for getting married and having children. And let's see here. Yeah, that's it. And then, so the reason we did this chart, she revealed publicly recently that she had an accident in November 10th of 2017. she was walking her dog and tripped and fell on her face and had about 40 stitches. And, it's a very important part of her ability to be in the public to, have a good appearance. So she was in a Jupiter main and sub period. So again, Jupiter is this house of accidents and health issues, financial issues. And Jupiter was transiting at that time the house of happiness, and it was further afflicted by Saturn. Saturn is also a functional malefic ruling the eighth house of vulnerability and accidents. So, brought this affliction to Venus. Venus means beauty, her ability to perform. So Saturn, natal Saturn. So this is this circle represents where the planets were when she was born, and this is where the planets were when the accident actually happened. So Saturn was afflicting, and Jupiter, Venus were conjunct. Saturn's afflicting Venus and Jupiter. Jupiter's already malefic, and Jupiter is afflicting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses away at the most effective point, the house of accidents, and Mercury, which is in that house of accidents. So her ability to communicate and perform successfully was delayed due to this accident. And I think that's all the main points for Karrie Underwood.